What's going on, YouTube? How's everybody doing out there tonight? So, yeah, I'm late at starting this live feed. The reason why, I blew a tire out. Yeah, so we didn't make it to my destination tonight due to several different reasons as to why. We'll get into that if you guys want to know. So, without further ado, let's start this. Alright, sorry about that. Yeah, we blew a tire out, and if I knew how to post the pictures up here on my phone, kind of like thumbnail them in, I'd be able to tell you. But, let's see here. Trying to adjust the steering wheel here so we can kind of make it to where my phone's not falling off. Come on. It's not wanting to cooperate right now. Alright. Is that gonna work? Is it? Alright. Anyways, guys. So, what's going on, Kyle? How you been, brother? It's been a minute since we been on YouTube together. But so in this Q&A session, it's going to be, allowing you guys to ask me questions about why I got into the trucking industry, a little bit about me, questions about TMC in general. With that being said, if any of you guys out there that are watching it, has any questions or anything that you guys want to ask, feel free to ask me, and I'll do my best to answer them as quickly as I can. What's going on, Kato? What's going on, Hammer Down? What's up, Mikey? But anyways, actually, me and Kyle were just talking about you guys earlier. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah. If only you guys knew how crazy I was sometimes. But anyways, yeah, definitely you guys will know soon enough. So anyways, alright, so I'll give you guys a little background on me. I was in the military for 7 years, and decided to get out. I decided to get out due to the way that the promotion system was working in the military and stuff like that, and I just didn't like the way that it was going. It's more based off of education nowadays versus, knowing your job and knowing how to lead soldiers and stuff like that. So that's one of the reasons why I got out of the military. The military did help me grow up and be who I am today and stuff like that. It really taught me at the age of 19 how to be a man. I was in the Army for Man, Kato, don't call me sir, man. I work for a living, dude. I ain't old enough to earn that shit yet. But I was an 88 Mike, which is a heavy vehicle operator. You know, basically a truck driver in the Army. You know, you handle load securement, you handle everything to get on, get all your equipment on your trucks and get on down the road. I've hauled everything from generators to dozers, excavators, stuff like that in Afghanistan and stuff. So it was pretty cool stuff out there. I like that, Mikey. I like that. Yes, I did serve in Afghanistan for 2 years. The first tour was in from 2011 to 2012. It was February 26th was when I left of 2011, and then I came home January 7th of 2012. Then March 30th or March 28th of 2013 I went back again. But due to having to come home early, I did not complete the full tour over there, so I only did 6 months of the tour over there. But I also served in Korea as well. You know, I had a ball in the Army. I mean, I tell you, it was really an experience. For my last 2.5 years that I was in the service, I was a 91 Bravo, which was a heavy-wheeled mechanic. I worked on all the trucks to the track vehicles, generators, everything. You name it, I could work on it. So it was a good experience on learning how to be, you know, mechanically inclined, even though I am very mechanically inclined to do stuff like that. And then yeah, I've hit several of those roadside IEDs and stuff like that. In the 2 tours that I did over there, I racked up a number right around, I think it was 60 that I hit with 2 tours there. It wasn't, you know, something crazy astronomically big, but you know, it still, you know, destroyed quite a few trucks by doing that. But I got out of the military April 21st of last year, actually, and the transition was really something difficult to do, because you're used to one way you do things, of being very independent and stuff like that. How the military you know, trains you, you know, you got to be independent, and you got to be able to lead yourself and be able to lead others along with you. And you got to be willing to train the new recruits and stuff like that. So coming into the real world, I was looking for jobs and stuff like that, and couldn't find anything worth my time as far as pay or anything. That's when my fiance, which was my girlfriend at the time, now we're engaged, she told me, she said, well, you know, I don't want you working 2 to 3 jobs, you know, trying to support yourself. She said, why don't you just go drive a truck? And I told her, I was like, well, Appreciate you there, brother. Appreciate you. But she told me, she said, go drive a truck for a little bit. And I said, well, I'm afraid, you know, if I go drive a truck, I'm going to enjoy it too much like I did in the Army. And then that's just going to be my life out there, you know. And she said, well, she's like, I know how you are. You don't like being out of money. You don't like struggling paying your bills. And I was like, yeah, that is true. That is very true. So I got to doing my research and everything like that about companies. Well, the first couple companies I looked at were, you know, Prime, TMC, Maverick, who else was it? Dart, Trans Am. I mean, I looked into a lot of companies, and after doing my research, what's up, steering wheel holder? I decided on TMC because they have the military apprenticeship program where you can use your GI Bill while you're learning how to drive a truck in the trucking industry. You can use it up to 2 years, and I think it's like $23,000 or $25,000 for 2 years, non-taxed money that you can use to pay your bills or put in a savings account. So that's the route that I went, and I am doing their 2-year apprenticeship program and stuff like that. And it's working out really well. I mean, the VA sometimes is a little slow at, you know, sending your money to you, but you know, it is what it is. You know, that is the VA for you. But also, you know, I just got my VA done and all that, so I'm receiving that money and everything like that now. So everything's working out really well. All right, Agent, what's your question? We'll go ahead and answer your question there, Agent. Music. King. The trucking life's pretty good. I mean, it's got its ups and downs. I mean, with the away time and everything like that, you know, I'm an expecting father here within before the end of the month. I'm going to be having my first boy born. And you know, it is what it is, but I look at it like this, you know, yeah, my life is about to change, but I love driving a truck. I love what I do, you know, especially doing flatbed. You know, I haul the freight into these places where they're building, you know, these department stores and stuff like that, you know. Rolla, Missouri, I hauled insulation in there. And not soon after that, a couple later, I passed a building that I actually hauled it to right off the interstate. Sorry about that. I had a phone call coming in, but I had passed the building that I hauled insulation to, and I saw it up and standing and almost you know, ready for, you know, operation and stuff, and you know, it made me feel good. Well, if a company is offering you $1,000 guaranteed and you're home every weekend. That is very doable if you're running cents per mile. Because I can run almost 3,000 miles a week in a 62 mile an hour truck. On cents per mile, the pay scale would probably be pretty good if I was making somewhere in the neighborhood of about 40 to 43 cents a mile starting out. But with me, I'm on the percentage pay scale, so I get paid off of whatever the truck makes and what my percentage is. Like right now, I get paid 28% of what the truck makes. So, I mean, if somebody's getting guaranteed getting a company to give those kind of miles out, is pretty difficult, you know. I get paid 28% as on TMC's pay scale is a performance-based pay system. So like when you're a new driver starting out with them, unless you've got, you know, experience, you start out at 26%. And then based off of how well you do, like parking up on the weekends, your fuel mileage, your appearance on your truck, your out of route, you having a clean driving record, no CSA points, all that stuff. You know, you can get on up there pretty good. Your revenue's a big thing. Is if your revenue's high, you're always going to have a high percentage. I mean, it's not bad working here. I mean, it's a great company. I get treated like, you know, a driver. I don't get treated like a truck number here, even though sometimes I feel like I do. But that's just, you know, every fleet manager has, you know, a fleet of about 40 drivers or more. So but you know, like TMC, they have their strict policies, but if you abide by their policies, like, you know, on how they want things done and stuff like that, I mean, they really don't bother you. Just like tonight, me and Kyle was actually talking about it before I started this live video. I blew a tire today. That's actually the reason why I did not make it to my destination tonight, because I've had enough's enough. I've just had a rough day today, and I ended up blowing a tire. Well, a lady ended up hitting my retread on my recap and busting the front bumper up on her car, and yeah, now they're trying to do an insurance claim to TMC Transportation just because I blew a tire out. And I told safety, when I talked to them about it, I told them, I was like, you know, it's pretty strange that, you know, a big piece of tread like that, somebody hits it laying in the center of the highway. I said, I'm willing to bet you she was playing on that cell phone or texting and driving. Yeah, TMC, they look at your record, your driving record, very, very strenuously. And if there's anything in there, it could affect you a little bit. Alright, Mikey asked here, the vet apprenticeship program, how's it work? And class size. Okay, so your class can range anywhere between 15 down to 2 people. Just really depends. Your apprenticeship VA money starts from your hire date. After your hire date, once you once you basically the way that they say it is your hire date is when the VA apprenticeship starts, and for your first 6 months it starts out, it's going to be $1,400 and some change a month for your first 6 months, and then after your first 6 months it drops down to alright, you have a good one there, Cato. Enjoy the home time there, buddy. And then after the first 6 months, you get dropped down to $1,100. I think it is. Yeah, it's $1,100 at your next 6 months, and then after that, you'll drop down to $800, and then after that 6 months, you'll drop down to $500. So, you can do it for up to 2 years. It's like $25,000 non-tax from the government that you can use for your GI Bill and stuff like that. It's really not a bad deal. And yeah, I'm doing it right now, and on top of getting my VA disability and stuff like that, so it works out. Alright, let's see. Carolina Boy. Oh man, I ain't seen any of your videos in a while. What's up, Jason? Well, TMC is not that bad of a company, really. The TMC is a really good company for you to start out with. I've been here for almost a year now. I've been here 9 months or so, nine and a half months, and it's really not that bad of a company to work for. They're actually really good to you. They treat you really well. The pay's pretty good. I mean, if you run your ass off, you can get paid pretty good. I mean, when I run Texas and Oklahoma all the time, I can average about $750, $800 a week, and that's not bad take home. You know, that's after taxes and everything's taken out. You know, and that's including having TMC's healthcare and stuff like that as well. So I'm actually soon to be canceling that, and because I just got my VA and healthcare started with the military, so that's going to be coming in, and it's pretty good. The pay different depending on where you pick up. Yeah, the pay depends. Like, with me being paid percentage, the loads, I get paid off of revenue to the truck. So like the loads, you know, can pay $700 and go 400 miles. So if the revenue's not good, it's you know, it depends. You know, like with TMC, anything over 500 miles is automatically considered a 2-day run, just because of, you know, us being governed at 62 miles an hour. But you know, it's you know, it's not bad. There's loads that I've picked up out here that paid almost $3,500, and it's took me 3 days to deliver it. 1,700 miles. I mean, you know, you can get good loads out here. You just got to know where to find them. Mikey here asked how long Are you with a trainer? 5 weeks. 5 weeks in their truck, unless they feel like that you're confident enough to go out on your own after about 4 weeks. Usually they typically do not release you any earlier than 4 weeks. Does any of you other guys out there got any questions for me about TMC or why I came into the trucking or anything like that? Oh, the Northeast, dude. Freaking some killer good paying freight up there, especially around Illinois, Indiana. What else? Pennsylvania, Michigan, stuff like that. We haul a lot of steel out of there. You know, it's, you know, pretty good paying freight up there. Unloaded miles, you get paid for your bounces. If it's over 150 miles, you get paid 20 cents per mile here at TMC. If it's nothing more than 150 miles, you're doing a free bounce, basically. But if the load pays good enough, by all means, I would do it. Carolina, I served for 7 years, and I was in the Army. Wow, I'm actually talking without even seeing y'all's questions. That's pretty cool. Alright, go back through the questions here. Hammer down, that's longer than Swifty's been pulling flatbed, period. What do you mean by that? They're pretty strict on their trucks. What you get is what you get. What you see is what you get with the trucks. Like, they put a CB in here. They put all the lights and aluminum on the trucks and everything. You cannot change anything with the truck. You have to keep the truck to their standards as far as cleanliness and stuff like that. I mean, it's, you know, if you live like you know, trashy and stuff like that, this might not be the company for you. My brother, he couldn't work here because he likes to keep his truck, you know, dirty and stuff like that. I mean, that's just particular people. But you know, if you pick up after yourself every single day, you know, you sweep the truck out and stuff like that. I mean, you know, they typically don't bother you. Their pet policy, they have a no pet policy because of drivers messing it up in the past. It's something TMC tried to do to be nice, and drivers just fucked it up for everybody else. Cameras, inward and outward. Yes, TMC does have those in their trucks, but not all of their trucks do have them. Like my truck, it does not have the inward and outward facing cameras, because I don't want them. But wide loads here, you can haul sheet steel that are wide loads. You can haul beams, stuff like that. We've got a boat division as well here. We have John Deere, which is specialized here. For both of those accounts, you got to be here for at least a year to get on those accounts. When you get on John Deere, you pull a step deck and a flatbed for a year. And once you do that, you're pretty much going to be getting into the big stuff like the harvesters, the seeders, the fertilizers, stuff like that. Now, for those type of accounts, you will have to drive a 579. And that's the reason why I don't do it. Well, well, actually, funny that you've asked that, Kyle. How's trucking changed my life? It's actually taught me to understand that less is more. Like, you don't have to make the big bucks to have everything you want. For this first year that I've been out on my own, I have struggled. And I mean, I have struggled. I've lost a car this year. Got repoed. Got a baby on the way. Literally found out 2 weeks after I got in my own truck that my fiance was pregnant. So that was the second income that we lost this year. My fiance got kicked out of the military due to being overweight. 2 weeks later, found out she was pregnant. You know, trucking has changed my life a lot, but it's actually helped me grow into a better person, to the person that I am right now. Like, I'm more willing to train people, you know, that have their own trucks, that are hauling the same freight that I'm hauling. I just can't train somebody sitting in my truck. I just don't trust somebody enough to be able to sleep in the bunk while they're driving. I just can't trust somebody enough to do that. But far as that, I mean, you know, it's opened my eyes to different perspectives and different views of what I can do in the trucking industry and what, you know, the trucking industry has to offer. There are several different things that I'm looking at right now, you know, trying to get a bunch of information on for guys that are looking at doing this, especially since I am, which is, you know, lease operating stuff or being an owner operator for future stuff. But the baby's due March 22nd. So as soon as the baby's born, Courtney will, my fiance, she'll take her maternity leave, and after she does that, school will be starting back up because she's working at the high school right now. She actually just started back work about 3 weeks ago, because she actually was able to find somewhere that would hire her. So we're doing well right now, you know, doing better than what we were before. Pretty bad when you don't know how long you've been married. And thank you, Jason, for the congratulations there. But yeah, trucking as a whole, I love it. I wouldn't have traded this for the world. People ask me, would you, yeah, I agree. But people ask me, do you regret getting out of the military? And my answer is no. Because, I don't have to wake up early in the morning to go do PT. I don't have to worry about, you know, anybody yelling and screaming at me throughout the day, saying, well, this is above your pay grade and stuff like this. I don't have to worry about being micromanaged. I don't have to worry about, you know, working 14, 16 hours a day and barely making enough to pay my bills. Out here I work as much as I want to, as hard as I want to, and make as much money as I want to, you know, and that's what I enjoy. TMC pretty much gives you the independence here at the company to run your truck the way you want to. They just tell you, you know, hey, you got to just break even with the truck. You got to break your bare minimum of $32.50 to the truck. Jason, the deadlines, I mean, it depends. I mean, each load varies, you know. Like if you got a load that goes 240 miles and you can freaking same day it, freaking do it. Because that's extra money that you're going to put in your pocket at the end of the week. I mean, there's loads that you'll get, 300-mile loads that deliver the next day. Or if you can same day it, I mean, it's just more money in your pocket. And that's what I recommend to do. You know, I don't think there's really too many new guys out there that can, you know, push a 62-mile-an-hour truck like some of the seasoned guys that have been here. I mean, we've got guys here that'll run a 62-mile-an-hour truck all day long, and then they'll get 670 miles down the road out of a 62-mile-an-hour truck. Like my max right now is 647 miles in a day, and I have not figured out how to get over that 647. Every time I get close to breaking it for that record, I end up not breaking it because, one, there's probably not a truck stop down the road close enough to me for the time that I've got left, or I just don't have enough time to do it. So, but I appreciate Cato, Hammer Down, and Carolina, you and Kyle for you know, jumping in here. But Kyle, you just asked family and trucking. Yes, me and my brother both drive trucks. My twin brother actually. And we me and my brother grew up driving trucks with my grandfather. My grandfather's had us in a truck since the time we were knee-high to a grasshopper, I tell you. From the time we were able to be potty trained, we've been in a truck. I remember going across from Salt Lake City, Utah. In my grandfather's truck, and my grandfather looks over at me and says, "I'm tired, jump and swap seats with me." You know, and I look at him like, I don't know what to do, and he just starts laughing. You know, it's, you know, stuff like that. You know, grew up with the old school trucking values. You know, everybody's out here, it's a brotherhood. You got to treat everybody with respect and all that stuff. I mean, like my grandfather told me back in the 80s and early 90s, you know, back when you were driving a truck, you know, you could break out the grill and cold beer and start grilling stuff. If truckers wanted something special to eat or something, they'd go to the store, grab some beer or soda and bring it back and have you cook it for them. I mean, it's just old school values that were instilled in me from my grandfather at a young age. And you know, my grandfather, he pulled flatbed his entire career for the most part. You know, it just, you know, my grandfather, he retired from trucking due to health issues about 15 years ago, and he's never been the same person since because he misses the open road. He raised his whole family off of being an owner-operator running his own truck. And he's one of my go-to guys if I ever need anything, far as, you know, like Kyle or anybody else. But, you know, like far as like asking, you know, questions on load securement to my grandfather, because if he ain't hauled it, I know somebody has. You know, my grandfather's pretty much probably have hauled just about everything you can put on a flatbed with 42 years of experience. So, you know, if he doesn't know how to secure it, then nobody does. That's the way I put it. But yeah, thank you for asking that, Kyle. Jason, a typical week for me starts out, you know, I start my week on a Sunday, and I go park at the receiver, and then I'll go pick up my next load after I drop it. My weeks vary where I go, the places I go and stuff like that, but most of the time, if I'm going home on the weekends, I can get home Friday morning or Friday afternoon. Sometimes I end up getting home on a Saturday due to, you know, some messed up situations or something like that happens. You know, you can get home enough for a 34-hour reset, or you can get home long enough to spend Friday, Saturday, and part of Sunday home. It just depends on how you play your week out and how well you work it. But other than that, yeah. Oh, Trucker Dan, you're good, man. Appreciate you stopping in and watching. I appreciate you getting your posse in here and people that support you and everything like that to support this live video and stuff like that, bro. Really motivates me there, Hammer Down. Yeah, I do a lot of Home Depot loads, Jason. I do a lot of them. Nah, ain't nobody getting choked up, Kyle. I don't know what you're talking about, man. Oh, you? The Home Depot lots, they don't allow, some of them, they don't allow parking. Like, I've gotten threatened to get arrested and my truck towed because I ran out of hours there. But the one that I've got closest to me, which is in Grand Prairie, Texas, it's a tight place to get into. They take forever to load you, so I've told TMC I will never haul out of there again, and so far they have not forced me to go back over there, so which is a good thing. Because I'd probably kill the guy that works down there, that's the manager. Yeah, I do agree with you on that one. Anywhere in Dallas, Fort Worth area is definitely tight areas for flatbed, especially for vans too. I've seen some of them areas that those guys go into, man. Use TMC in my titles. You think that'll get me out there more? Alright, I sure will. I appreciate that, Hammer Down. Trying to figure out where to leave the truck and trailer. I'm in the city, sort of. Any local truck stop really would be fine. TMC actually has a setup in their trucks, which I'm not going to actually go into full detail about it, how to unlock the system, because that's just like, you know, giving away TMC's secret. But they have what they call a theft deterrent in their trucks. You enter the code in it, and somebody could actually have the right Peterbilt key to start your truck, but the truck won't start without that code. So nobody can take your truck. But TMC has a strict policy about no dropping and hooking from your trailer and going home. If you're loaded, that truck stays under that trailer, unless you're at home and you got a fenced in yard where you can unhook the truck from the trailer. Other than that, they don't allow it. Like me, I got 42 acres out in the middle of the country here in Oklahoma. They allow me, because my field's fenced in, to unhook from my trailer and pull the truck into the driveway. Craziest thing I've seen so far. Wow. That's a good one. That's a tough one. Load securement wise, or stuff on the road? Yeah, you can leave the truck and trailer at a rest stop, just as long as you set your theft deterrent. Alright, so the craziest thing that I've seen as far as load securement, I've watched a guy go, it was actually a coil place here, not too long ago actually, right before Christmas actually, I seen this. A guy rolled in there, he picked up 2 coils, they both weighed 20,000 pounds. So, combined cargo weight of 40,000 pounds, right? Guess how many chains he put on that? He only put 4 chains on the entire load. I looked at him, and I told him as he was rolling out, I said, I hope you're not leaving going down the highway with that. And he said, yeah. I said, alright. I said, how much does your coils weigh? And he said, 20,000 pounds a piece. And I said, he said, okay. Why? And I said, well, because bare minimum, if you're doing it by DOT, you need 2 chains, enough to secure the load weight. But 2 chains just to secure the load, that's wrong. I told him, I said, bare minimum, you need 3 chains on that, because that's 1.5 times the securement of the cargo, right? And he said, well, why 3 chains? I said, well, that's 1.5 times the securement on the load. You're not running with just a bare minimum protection just to keep it on the trailer. I said, and plus, if I'm not comfortable with my fiance and my baby boy riding next to me going down the highway, then I should get the fuck off the road and stop trying to call myself a flatbedder. And I told him, I said, you're a sorry excuse for a truck driver if you're going to drive down the road like that. I said, you need to be putting 4 chains on each one of those coils, and you need a tent target, because every coil that comes out of here is supposed to be tarped. And but you know, like I said, you know, you see them rolling out of there with 2 chains on 2 coils. You know, what is that doing? I mean, you're no, actually it was not Prime. Believe it or not, it was not Prime. It was not Western Express. It wasn't any of those guys. I think it was a Butler truck, a Butler flatbed or something like that. I can't remember. But let's see here. Go back in. Hammer Down asked, how long should it take to secure 4 suicide coils? If you pick up coils and they're loaded suicide like that, and there are 4 of them, that's not gonna. Most of the time, places won't load them suicide. They'll load them shotgun with the eye facing towards the front of the truck. That's the only way that I've ever hauled them. But to secure those and to fully tarp it, it should not take you more than an hour and a half, 2 hours to do it. Because of the way that I do it, is you run an X chain on the front and back. Well, you run an X chain through the center of the coils, and then what you do is you run 2 lateral chains through the center, and then what you do is then after that you'll hog tie it, and then run a chain in the center of it, of the hog tie, and then you'll cross your chain, making a V shape down towards the trailer deck. And then what you'll do is you'll loosen up a binder, put it in the center of that on both sides, and then you'll tighten both of them down until they're tight and they form the shape of an A. So that right there creates a hog tie with an A chain. Keeps it from your forward and rearward movement. If you have to hit the brakes hard, that coil's not just going to freaking come forward, it's actually going to stay in place where it's at. Shit, I'm losing my train of thought here, but the way I do it is I'll hog tie them, A-chain them, and then do the X-chain, the lateral chains and everything like that. And then once I tarp it, I put my padding tarps over top of it. They save your life to protect steel and stuff like that. Then I'll throw 4 straps over top of each, one over each coil if I've got 4, or if I've got, you know, depending on the coils that I've got. And then I'll throw my tarps over it, secure the straps, and then I'll tarp the whole load. And I usually tent tarp most coil loads that I do. Like Trucker Dan said, it takes anywhere between 30 to 45 minutes to secure and tarp a coil load. Yeah, I agree with you. If you're hauling them suicide, about right. Oh crap! Sorry about that. I average between 750 to 900 a week there, Jason. Yeah, so no, it shouldn't take you no 4 to 6 hours to secure them and tarp them and all that. Yeah, like Trucker Dan said, you really don't like hauling them, because if you don't secure them right, and if you don't take your turns real easy with them, you can actually twist your trailer, which is what we call on a aluminum flatbed is called springing your trailer. And it really messes up the alignment of the trailer. They don't pull good once you do that. You actually have to turn them hard in the opposite direction to pull that spring back out of them. And it's real difficult to do. And once you pretty much spring a trailer, it's going to do it every freaking time. Well, it takes me that long just because I take my time and I secure them, you know, the way that I want them. I'm a perfectionist. If my chains aren't positioned the way that I want them, I take them off and I redo them again. Like some of the coils that I'll haul, they're not actual coils. Trucker Dan, I think you might have... oh, okay. Yeah, that's too long. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I typically get home for a day and a half, 2 days. That's about what my home time is, and then I go back out for a week to 2 weeks at a time. But on the flip side of staying out for 2 weeks at a time, the revenue that I make to the truck and the money I make staying out makes it worth it in some cases. Courtney's still thinking about it. Not 100% sure on what she's wanting to do. She said something about going to business school and stuff like that for her first degree, and then going into brokerage school. I'm not 100% sure of what she's going to do yet. I haven't asked her because we've been focusing on the pregnancy and stuff like that. So we'll just have to see what happens and stuff like that. I mean, you know, she's wanting to do college and stuff, and I'm not pushing her forward. I mean, I told her, I said, just take your time, figure out what you want to do, and then we'll go about it that way. And see, at least you're good at multitasking. I mean, come on now, Hammer Down. Yes, we have dedicated. We have dedicated out of St. Joseph, Missouri, Worthington Steel. I'm not sure if we have dedicated up in Connecticut. But, that's always something that you could call TMC and ask about. If they have a dedicated account up in your area. If they don't, what you can do is you and your fleet manager can make you a dedicated route to where you guys are, you know, just, you know, going same places every single day, you know, basically. But, well, oh yeah, Texas dedicated is super freaking hard to get onto. There's a waiting list. There's like 20 guys on that waiting list right now. For your question, Kyle, future plans. My future plan is you know, I'm going to set my plans small for right now. For one of them is my future plan is to grow this channel up to about 100, 200 subscribers. Start small with this, and then my next future plan is to start looking into owner operator before summertime this year, around July, June time. I want to start looking into being an owner operator because I'm wanting to have more of my own independence with everything. So with that being said, I want to be able to choose how hard I want to run, how much I want to make, and, you know, as long as I'm making, you know, enough to, you know, break even and make a small profit, I'm fine with it. You know, I know how to make money over here where I live at, and you really need a faster truck to do it. To make as much money as I know I can make out here. But I'm not talking down on TMC saying that their trucks suck, but, you know, they're 62 mile an hour, there's only so much you can do. Yeah, Trucker Dan, 62 does get old after a while, but you kind of get used to it. Oh yeah, good trucks. Yeah, they TMC is experimenting with the PACCAR motor right now. I'm not sure what they're going to do with it, but most of the trucks here have ISX Cummins motors in them. 9-speed transmissions. The automatics have 10-speed automatics in them. Great trucks. The automatics, I've had one. And I didn't really particularly care for it too much, but it was a truck. It made me some money. So, you know, all jokes aside, to me, it's not, you know, a preference of trucks really with me. Since I've been here with TMC, I have drove their pride and jewel of the company. If you ever get one of these trucks, they're like gold. I had a 2005 379 Peterbilt with the 475 cat dual turbo C15 Acert motor, 13-speed 355 rears. That was an awesome truck. With a 63-inch bunk, a 250-inch wheelbase, I could get it into anywhere I wanted to go, and it was a short hood 379. The second truck I had was a 2017 Peterbilt 579. Brand new truck off the showroom floor. Had 1,275 miles on it when I got it. Had nothing but issues out of the truck from day one with it. And when I got out of that truck, it had 26,000 miles on it. And the truck I'm driving currently right now is a 2013 Peterbilt 388 and the difference between the 388 looks identical to a 389. The only difference between a 389 and a 388 is the 388 is a short hood version of a 389. Alright, so I'm not sure if the automatics come with a note with the camera facing you. I know mine didn't, but it had the forward-facing camera in it. Hammer down. The shifting pattern of a 9-speed is the same as a 13-speed. The only difference is if you've never drove a 13-speed, the 9-speeds an H pattern shift style, just like a regular car, basically. And the 9-speed is basically a 13-speed without the 4-speed auxiliary box. TMC does not frowns upon that greatly. Actually, Jason, if you put it in neutral and cruise down a hill, TMC actually fired a guy for getting one of the automatics up to 127 mile an hour going down a hill. Oh, damn it, I keep dropping it. Hello, real beautiful. So, hammer down, I got a question for you. What's it like being an owner-operator, really, honestly? I mean, the one thing that I'm worried about the most is like your expenses, paying your taxes and stuff like that. Yeah, you can convert a 13-speed over to a 9-speed just as well as a 9-speed over to a 13-speed. Actually, the truck that I'm driving right now has the 4-speed auxiliary box on it. It doesn't have that airline with the splitter on it, Trucker Dan. What about it? What sucks about it? I mean, that's what I want to know. Is like, I know some guys don't make no more than what a company driver does and stuff like that. I just want the freedom of having my own equipment, you know, being able to have load option, be able to choose from my loads and stuff like that. That's the main reason why I want to be an owner operator eventually. I don't know what the heck just happened. Sorry about that, guys. Freaking YouTube just glitched out on me. But anyways, yeah, I'm just, you know, curious about it, and I just wanted to know, you know what I mean, Hammer Down? But, so what are you guys up to out there tonight? I mean, let's start getting some more questions here. Come on, guys, start asking. Let me think. I like that, Jason. But no, today's been one of those days for me. I mean, it's just, you know, the freaking four-wheeler ticked me off. Freaking saying she's gonna get insurance money off of the company due to hitting the rubber off that dang recap that blew. It took the repair guy, I think it was like 2 hours to come out and fix the truck. Yeah, I agree with you on that one, Trucker Dan. Nothing like having your AC on during the day and the heater on at night. The freight that I see that pays the most here at TMC is pipe loads, the cat loads, boat loads, steel, plate steel loads, some insulation loads, John Deere especially, and some of the railroad loads that we haul for the BNSF yard out of Springfield. No, I don't get paid when I'm sitting on the side of the highway waiting on repair unless I'm sitting for more than a day. But, I mean, I've hauled a lot of stuff, and Kyle will be able to tell you this. I've hauled everything from coils, plate steel, aluminum coils, to skidded coils, to pipe, poly pipe, insulation, shingles. I mean, I've hauled lumber, sheetrock. Oh God, I hate hauling sheetrock. I haul at least one load of that a week. Yeah, we haul cat parts. We've got a dedicated account out of Morton, Illinois, where we have preloaded trailers up there. Lumber's not that bad. I mean, it rides heavy, and, you know, even if you're not but like 45,000 pounds, I mean, it's just, you put it on the trailer and it just rides like it's super freaking heavy. If you wanted to be at 30%, you got to work for it. I mean, you got to do everything right within TMC to get up to 30%. Which within your first 3 months, I'm not 3 months, but 6 months, you can get up to 30%. I'm gonna start the truck here since I've had the light on. Just by your revenue, fuel mileage, being parked up and stuff like that, you can be at 30% in no time. I fell into a slum there when I first started with a fleet manager. I had where I was barely breaking even to the truck, and I had some really bad weeks in there where right now I'm just sitting at 29 right now. What's going on, Shane? Yeah, I know Rotan, and I actually live 36 miles away from Fletcher, out there in Oklahoma. But here we'll do a nice little shot of the truck right now. Since we're on the live feed, we'll do a nice little shot of the truck at night with all the lights on. Just to tickle y'all's whistles. Alright, so this is the 388. Looks identical to a 389. And I'll show you the difference right here. If you look at the hood right here, you notice how it's got a little bit of a slope to it. That's because it's a short hood, not an extended hood. Go all the way down back here. You can see I've shined up my wheels and tires today. And I mean, she's just a gorgeous truck once she's polished up and everything like that. But yeah, I'm gonna have to make a live video one day when I get ready to polish her again. She shines up really good. Unfortunately though, this truck is going to be getting ready to get sold here within the next 3 to 4 months. She's getting over 600,000 miles on her, and the company's going to get ready to take her from me. So that's going to be just one of those deals where I'm going to have to make a decision whether you know, I'm going to either buy her or just let the company take her. Been a great truck since I've had her. Really good truck, solid running truck. And I appreciate you guys saying the truck looks good. That makes me feel good. Things that you bring out with you when you're with your trainer, okay? You want to pack enough clothes for about a week. You want to bring long sleeve shirts, pants, and closed-toed shoes, because some of the places that require you to wear long sleeves, you know, to protect your arms and stuff like that. Bring you a good pair of gloves. Actually, I have a pair in the truck that I'll show you guys that have been a great pair of winter gloves and work gloves throughout the winter. I love these things. I paid 20 bucks for them. Yes, bring you a good raincoat too with you, because it sucks in the rain time. Also, whenever you get ready to go to you know, Des Moines and stuff like that to do your training, they actually pay for you a rental car to go up there. They do not buy you a plane ticket. They do not buy you a bus ticket. You get a rental car that you share with Two other drivers that are coming up to TMC, or two guys that are trying to get on with TMC. I have seen in orientations, and I actually had it happen when Mike, our load securement guy, came in, started doing a slideshow for load securement. Had 3 guys stand up and leave the classroom saying, well, I didn't know that this was a dangerous job. This ain't for me. I'm going to go back and start slinging doors again. So, if you guys don't, care for the extra added stress of making sure that you secure your loads properly and use the proper safety, when you're out there working around, the forklifts and stuff like that, the cranes and stuff that load you, you can get hurt really bad. I've seen pictures of people that have had coils just slip and come off their trailers and just crush them. Instead of them, picking them up off the ground, taking them to the hospital, they were scooping them up with a shovel. It's just stuff like that. If you guys get on my channel, one of my videos, heaven's awful. I don't know. They say it's the peaceful promised land. I don't know. But, yeah, there's a load securement. Yep. I totally agree with you, Trucker Dan. If you're afraid of heights, don't want to work in the elements, it's not for you, being honest. Yes. That's on point right there. And me, I can tell you right now, there's some loads that I will not walk straight across. Rolled paper loads for the gypsum plants, for the sheetrock, I will not walk straight across those things, because there's something about, a roll of paper that you're walking across. If you misstep one good time, even with that harness on, you're going to do some damage to yourself. And I like my crown jewels, so I'm going to stick to crawling across it with my hands and knees and dragging my tarps. Let's see, drive from the training to the training center from Connecticut. You're looking at roughly probably somewhere in the neighborhood of about 1,200 miles. If you got 2 other guys, you can knock it out within about 18, 24 hours. It's not, it won't be too terrible if you got 2 guys in there with you to, be able to do it with you. Yeah, just I had a bad experience as a kid. Real high in the air, and some loads I can just walk right across it like it ain't nothing, and in others it's just like it's a little sketchy for me. You know what I mean? But, where's Kyle at? Is he still here? We're going to, get in, securing some steel, some coils. I still got some tips and tricks of the trade for, insulation, sheetrock, lumber, and stuff like that to show you guys. I mean, just the simple general freight stuff that you can strap. I'm gonna, you know, give y'all the best information I can. The stuff that works and the stuff that's legal by DOT. That's all I'm gonna put out there, and the stuff that works the best. I'm not gonna show you guys the wrong way of doing it. I'm gonna show the right way, the way that works, and that has been proven over the course that I've been here, that I use, and it works wonders. You know, I know Trucker Dan here, he's probably seen it, where guys will put their straps through the winches, and instead of rolling up their excess, they'll roll them all the way up and just tighten the winches down, or try and tighten the winches all the way down like that. And then I'm pretty sure that he's seen guys take their straps and fold them in half and beat them on the side of the rub rail, stick them through the winch, pull them about 2 to 3 inches through, and then just roll it up from there too. I don't care what you say, you roll that strap all the way up in that winch, it's never going to get tight enough to actually secure that load fully. I don't care what anybody says. I actually showed it on my securement video for sheetrock yesterday that I posted. If you look at it the way I did it in the winch, if I would have actually had it secure, I mean, to each his own. I mean, people got ways of doing it, but I just don't trust that method. I've done it and have had loads move on me. I mean, to each his own. If it works for you, it works, but I just don't trust it doing it that way. But in my video, like I was saying, if I would have actually had it hooked to the other side of the trailer and tightened it all the way down, you could have probably grabbed a hold of it and pulled the slack through that was still there. I mean, it just really depends on the type of person that's on them. I don't know how big of a guy you are there, Trucker Dan, so I can't judge saying that you can't get them tight. Well, like I said, I don't know if you're a big guy or if you're a little guy. So if you're a little guy like me, 150 pounds, 5'9", I can't get them things tight enough. I don't know if I'm just how can I say it, just being a little girl about it in political correct terms. Is Hammer Down still in here? Trying to see how you see who's in the live chat still. Hang on here. Yeah, being about safety is the best thing that you can do, because if you're not comfortable with your load and you can't say that you allow your family to ride next to you going down the highway, you know, if I'm not comfortable with it, I wouldn't even drive down the road with it. Hey, Trucker Dan, I appreciate you being in this live chat though, man, and this live video, dude. It's always good to have somebody here that, you know, has done the job and that is doing the job that you can actually relate to a little bit with it. Yeah, I sleep with the truck idling at night. sometimes, depending on how cold it is, depending on how warm it is outside. Like if it's hotter than 80 degrees outside, I don't let the truck shut off. If it's colder than 20 degrees outside, I don't let the truck shut off. Because for whatever reason, this 388, it doesn't like starting if it's, you know, below 25 degrees outside. Alright, I'll be looking for that one, Trucker Dan. But the bunk heater in this truck, I've actually got a S-bar in here. What it does is it runs off of diesel fuel in the tank, and if you crank it all the way open, it'll run you out the truck. If you turn it wide open, it'll run you out the damn truck. If you turn it on halfway, it'll run you out the dang truck. I mean, it's an awesome heater. On the newer trucks, they've got thermostats set on them to where you can set the temperature where you want the truck to be at night, and they still run you out of them. So if that don't tell you how good the bunk heaters are in these things, I don't know what will. I've had the heater going so good back there in the back, I woke up sweating in the middle of the night and just cut the damn thing off. But I ain't done the bunk heater with the window open just because I don't like listening to the other trucks outside idling, so, and plus I hate going to a truck stop, parking in the back next to the other flatbeds, and then the next thing you hear is a reefer backing in next to you. And then you have to listen to the reefer all night. I wish we could segregate the truck stops where reefers and dry vans and all the APU powered trucks park on one side, the guys that don't have them parks on the other side. I mean, to me, that's the best thing, you know, like if I don't have to idle my truck, I don't. I shut the damn thing off and I just go to sleep. Like, today, my truck was getting 6.2 miles to the gallon, supposedly, by what the Qualcomm says. So, I don't know how well you can trust all that. But, yeah, I think this is going to be my dinner tonight. So, we're definitely going to be rocking it old school Army style here tonight, because I'm at a rest area and they don't have microwaves, so I'm going to do it like an old MRE, just crack the top and just eat it. But, hey, Trucker Dan, I got a question for you. How do you keep yourself from getting super dizzy after, you know, being out there in the heat and stuff like that all the time? I'm just curious because I keep a case of water in the truck, and I go through like a case every 3 days in the summertime, and every once in a while I'll go to a spell where I'll still get lightheaded and stuff. Yeah, sea ration it like a motherfucker. Okay, wet rag on your neck. That might actually help. That really might actually help. I didn't think of that. Appreciate that. See, like, I'll ask you guys questions and stuff like that too, because I don't know everything and I ain't gonna play it like I know it all. You know what I'm saying? I know Kyle. Yep. See, Kyle's already getting at me. He said, biggest mistake you made, keep it humble. Actually, my biggest mistake was probably yeah, my biggest mistake so far here at TMC was at ABC Lumber in Raleigh, North Carolina. I picked up a load of James Hardy board from them that was damaged and had to go back to the Plant City location in Florida. Paid good, paid really good, but their location was stupid tight, and I ended up backing up out of there, and they had a Moffett forklift sitting on the back of a trailer, and I just caught the edge of the support pin on the forklift, and it curled the edge of my fender under on the driver's side of the truck. And then later on that night, I hit an owl at 62 miles an hour. Oh yeah, I used to live in North Carolina. I lived there for about 7 years, and I lived up in the foothills just north of Winston-Salem. Yeah, I said owl. Well, the one thing that I can tell a new guy coming into the industry is do your research. Do your research on what it is that you want to do. Do your research on the companies that you want to go with, because each company is different and they've got different things based off of your needs and what they can, and the needs of the bill that they can fit for you, basically. Some companies have different programs that, you know, work best for others, and then some don't, you know. So you got to do your research and look into every aspect of the trucking company before you make a decision on where you're going to go, because if you don't do that, you wind up going to some company, not liking it, and then you owe them a year to a year and a half of service for getting your CDL through them, and then you're screwed because you're going to be hating life, and then you're going to hate the trucking industry because you went to that company. So it's just best that you do all the best research that you can about the company that you're wanting to go with before you even make a decision to come into the trucking industry. Like me, I was literally a toss-up between Prime and TMC, and I'm glad I chose TMC because Prime tried to force me to come over there. So yeah, and Prime lied to me on the phone. No bullshit. I mean, I've seen McElroy trucks. You know, I haven't actually talked to any of their drivers, so when I do see them, they're in and out, done tarping and stuff like that. I mean, they roll in, they drop a trailer, hook up to another one, and then they're gone. That's not bad starting out. 46 cents a mile, loaded and empty. That's really not bad. That's actually really good. Excuse me. Yeah, that's stupid right there, Shane. I hate doing that. Yeah, that's really good pay right there, Jason. If they're willing to pay you 47 cents a mile, yeah. 46 cents a mile, yeah. But yeah, like Trucker Dan said, percentage is the way to go, because in most cases, percentage pays more, and money-wise to the driver versus cents per mile, because there might be one load a week that you'll haul that'll pay more in cents per mile over percentage. I mean, it happens. But yeah, I see McElroy and Rotan all the time. Yes, and TMC has an awesome training program. I mean, I have no complaints with them. I mean, they trained me, so obviously, they put up with me. Yes, deadhead miles suck on percentage. Like, TMC pays you if you deadhead over 150 miles or up to 150 miles. They only will pay you at that point, and it's only 20 cents per mile. So, sometimes it's actually worth to take that bounce. That's 200 miles to pick up a load that pays like $650 going 200 miles, because then you're gonna just freaking make out like a bandit on it. You'll make like $250 on it when you would have only made like $200 going and picking it up like 60 miles away from it. What is DOT wrapping straps? At my pay rate, I can make anywhere off the load. I could make anywhere between 48 cents a mile or lower to $2.50 a mile. It just depends on the load. I mean, on percentage pay, it doesn't. It's not like set in stone like cents per mile on percentage. Basically, what you do is you take the revenue from the load, get your percentage of it, and then take your percentage of what you're getting paid and divide it by the miles that you're running, and then that'll tell you what you're going to make per mile off of it. Hooking the strap on the rub rail and then wrap the strap around the hook. Yeah, I've never done that. Weekly. Alright, Jason B. I would probably be around about 43 to 45 cents per mile, loaded and empty. Oh, so are you a Melton driver, Trucker Dan? Yeah. Hey man, everybody works for a company every once in a while that they don't want to work for, you know. It happens. Believe me, I know. Sometimes the pay is just better to bite the bullet for just a little income than it is just for, you know, a good paying job somewhere where you don't want to be, you know. But well guys, I think I'm gonna wrap this video up here tonight. You guys enjoy the rest of y'all's night. It's been nice chatting with y'all. Let me know in the comments section below what you guys are wanting to see in the next upcoming videos. So that gives me a little bit more of an idea of what some of you guys are looking for. Remember, always shoot me a comment in the comment section below if you guys have any more questions or anything that you guys would want to add. And remember, stay safe out there and watch what you guys do around the truck.